So good afternoon, everyone. So let us now start. So we will continue, but before that, let us keep on praying for the safety and for the fast recovery of our family, CNC family, na undergoing ngayon ng COVID-19. So, education must continue po. Hindi kailangan pong idaan sa biro na bakasyon po tayo today or this week because of that. So, a special announcement with regards to the submission of your preliminary examination. Since it is a hard copy, kindly wait for the next schedule. So, for those who can submit it through Google Drive or can submit it in our Facebook group through comment section. So, pwede naman po yun. The most important is you make a way in submitting your exam. Pero if you can wait for the schedule, for the next schedule, yes, you will submit it po on the scheduled date. Pwede naman po yun. Wala po tayong problema with regards to that. So, another one is we are also reminding everyone na i-double check ang ating modules before po na maano natin yung other i-check po kung kompleto na or ano pa yung mga kulang. Okay? So this afternoon, what we are going to talk about is the legal basis or the mandates of special and inclusive education. Ano ba ang mga pinagbatayan nito? Saan ba ito hango? The most important is there is a policy that we are following or yeah. So the first one is the first policy is the Piaget, the stages of development. Jean Piaget. The spelling of his name is Gean. Jean. The pronunciation is Jean Piaget. It started with the four stages of development. First is the sensory motor stage. From the word itself, sensory. So the senses is involved from birth to 18 to 24 months old. Kakapanganak pa lang ito. And they are doing the so-called object permanence. Ano ba yung object permanence, my dear students? Ang object permanence po ay siya yung tipo na kapag ang bata po ay linagay dito sa left hand, inilipat dito sa right hand, since nakita niya sa left hand, pag pinapili mo siya, ang ituturo niya pa rin ay ang left hand. Kasi doon niya, ito yung tinatawag nating object permanence. Nakatutok lang siya kung saan niya unang nakita ang isang bagay. Okay. Next is the pre-operational, which is 2 to 7 years old. So ito ay nagsisimula na nito na pag-aral from 5 years old, which is the daycare program. Then 6 years old is the kinder, and 7 years old is grade 1. So yan po ang pre-operational stage, and that is the symbolic thought. Ano ba itong symbolic thought? It is more on symbols. They learned more on pictures. Nahalata nyo ba? Ang mga grade 1, ang mga kinder, nauunawaan nila ang kanilang pinapanood, nauunawaan nila ang kanilang binabasa, yung nakikita nila sa books because of images, because of pictures. So yan ang symbolic thought. So next is the concrete operational stages from 7 to 11 years old. So ano na po siya dito? Grade 2 hanggang grade 6 na siya. So dito naman po sa stage na to is the operational thought. So this is more on the real object. It's more on the real object that they see they learn through the use of, this is what they call concrete object, real objects, di ba? So most important is you are using real objects in teaching your learners para mas lalo silang matuto in the lesson. Next is formal operational, which is adolescence to adulthood. Nasa edad na po ito ng high school to hanggang po sa pagtanda. That is adolescence adulthood. We learned abstract concepts. We are able to solve problems. We are able to make decisions in every problems that we encountered. Diba? Yan ang kagandahan. Kasi habang tumatanda po tayo, the level of problem, the level of difficulties increases. Nahalata nyo, nung kayo nasa elementary, ang problema nyo papaano makakatapos kayo ng elementary. Nung nag-high school na kayo, namomroblema kayo kung anong gagawin niyo para makatapos ng high school. Nung nag-college uli kayo, namomroblema din kayo kung papaano. So, as namamalayan niyo na lang na you are now successful, you are you finish your studies, 'di ba? So, yan po ang ating ano. According to Sean Piaget, cognitive development is a progressive reorganization of mental processes as a result of biological maturation and environmental experience. So, mas ano po si Sean Piaget on the cognitive development. If we are talking about cognitive, we are referring more on the mental aspect. We are referring more on the mind, sa utak, no? So, the, tayo'y natututo, we learn through maturation, sa pagdagdag ng ating edad, sa pagdagdag ng ating pagkatuto, and will learn also based on the experience in the environment. Diba? Learning takes place not only in the four corners of the classroom. Learning takes place, dagdagan. Learning takes place not only in the four corners of the classroom, we learn everywhere. So we have the so-called formal schooling, which is happened in the four corners of the classroom. We have the formal education, yun nga, nangyayari to sa apat na kanto ng classrooms. The non-formal education, which is like the alternative learning system. And we also have the informal education na we learned through observation. 'Di ba? So tulad ng pagluluto, tulad ng pagsaing, tulad ng paglalaba, we don't have formal schooling on that. We don't have discussion on washing the dishes, but we learn through observation. Natutunan na lang natin ito sa panunood. Children construct an understanding of the world around them, then experience discrepancies between what they already know and what they discover in their environment. So the most important is we are a constructivist. Anong ibig sabihin nun? That we learn through constructing our own learning. We learn through constructing our own knowledge, our own understanding of the concept and theories. So yan. Um, so another one is, what are the four aspects of cognitive development? There are four aspects. Cognitive development is how a person perceives. Paano mo i-picture out, paano mo naiintindihan how you visualize things, how you visualize concepts, and how you think. So the most important is you're able also to comprehend lessons by thinking sa pag-iisip and gain understanding of the world through the relations of genetic and learning factors. So the most important is the learner is able to associate concept to the real object or concept to real life experiences, to real world. Yun po. Kaya that's why we are encouraged also to give concrete examples based on their learnings. Next is, these are four stages to cognitive development. The first one is reasoning. Yan. So, ngayon, when we are now in college, nung elementary tayo, natututo tayo nagsimula tayo sa 1 plus 1, sa pagbasa ng CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant, like boy, mata. Nung nag-high school na tayo, we are able to construct paragraphs, we are able to construct sentences. Nung nag-college na tayo, more on reasoning. If you notice, more on subject type of test ang binibigay ng mga instructors natin because iba ng level din kayo. Iba ng level din ang college department. Kaya mayroon din na other way in teaching, in other way of teaching pupils para ano din, um, makapag-reason out. So I'm also like that because I gave you enumerative essay and essay para makapag-reason out kayo kung ano ba yung mga difficulties encountered by a learners with special needs, and a teacher teaching learners with special needs. Another one is intelligence. So the cognitive information is based also on the intelligence. So kayo naman, may iba-iba tayong IQ level, may iba-iba tayong ano. So don't blame yourself if you cannot comprehend well, or don't never say na ganito ako kaburod or kapatal. Dapat also may iba ka din. May you have something in you have something in your mind, or you have something ano din na you can share knowledge to other people. Sometimes nga sabi ko, it's okay to be average person than an intellect person. Kasi minsan naman mas may respeto yung mga average person. Another one is language. We learn it outside. We learned it mm, we learned it through our development, the language. So we have the different languages in ano po. So and also it also shown or reflected to a person who is uneducated if they are using when they are using the language properly, because language is a gift from God, use it to build, not to destroy. Ginagamit natin yung lingwahe para mag-lift up ng ibang tao kaysa mag-destroy ng ibang tao. Aside from language, we also have memory. So this one is, it is saying that, yeah, sabi ni Reginald Barria, yes, every one of us is unique. Diba? We are not different. Pwede din po kayong mag-comment, pwede din po kayong mag-react on what we are discussing para po pagbasahin ko, ipag-shoutout ko rin. So yung memory natin, it is what? Um, saying na we learn something because may tumatak sa isip natin. May tumatak sa remembering level natin. What are the examples of the cognitive development? So there are different examples. One is talking with your baby and naming commonly used objects. 'Di ba? Cute naman ito na minsan anong nahahalata nyo sa isang baby kapag kinakausap nyo? Yung kinakausap nyo na ano, sige mag-comment kayo para may interaction din tayo. Mahirap pag ganitong live, 'di ba? Sige. So ano ba yung napapansin nyo kapag kumakausap kayo ng isang bata? Commonly inuulit-ulit, 'di ba? Para ano? Para there must be mastery with the child para makita mo na naalala niya. So that is also cognitive while talking to the baby and naming commonly used objects. You are also asking the baby, ano yung napapansin nyo? You are also asking the baby na where is his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his tongue. So part yan. Una tinuturo mo muna. This is the nose, this is the eyes, this is the ano, 'di ba? Then later on, you will now ask the child, baby, where is your nose? Where is your eyes? Where is your teeth? Where is your head? 'Di ba? And sometimes naman, let us niya, you are also teaching the child the sounds of an animals. And later on, you will ask, baby, what is the sound of a cow? What is the sound of a pig? Of a bird? Okay. Sabi ulit ni Reginald, yan, very active si Reginald. The baby is also responding through the eyes and sometimes with a smile. Yeah, true, 'di ba? Kaya nga sabi natin, mas gusto nating maging bata dahil mas cute daw panoorin, mas cute silang gumalaw, mas cute silang kumilos, 'di ba? So tama po, tama. Okay, very good, Reginald, Baria. Next is letting your baby explore toys and move about. So you are putting the toys on the floor, on the ground, and they are crawling, and they are getting something that strikes their attention. Okay, singing and reading to your baby. This is very common na ginagawa ng karamihan na which help to develop. As we know naman kasi that music helps to soothe their mind para makapag ano din ng kanilang pag-iisip, 'di ba? Nakaka-relax kaya ang music. And don't you know that ang mga baby simula nang ma-develop ang kanilang sense of hearing, ina-advise na palagi po na let the child to listen to nursery rhymes and to music kasi nakakatulong naman to develop their mind, to their cognitive development. Another one is exposing your toddler to books and puzzles. Yan. Wag lang good evening, Evander. Mag-comment ka. Say something of what you heard or what you learned, diba? Try to reflect also with the concept. Charot lang, Evander. Sending and reading to your baby, exposing your toddler to books and puzzles, expanding on your child's interest in specific learning activities. Yan. So, you are giving them tasks, you are giving them exercises or activities in order to develop some skills. So, pwede na po yan na gawin para makatulong sa mga bata. And answering your child's why questions. Anong nahahalata nyo sa mga baby? 'Di ba? They are more curious. They're always asking. No? Minsan magsasawa ka din sa mga bata. Minsan magsasawa ka din sa bata sa kanilang mga tanong. They are very curious about something. So, why mama, why papa, 'di ba? So sometimes ano ito, kahit sinabi mo na maya-maya naman uulitin naman nila because they are curious to know about something of an object. So how can parents encourage cognitive development? Paano natin sila mai-encourage? Here are ideas to encourage cognitive development through different activities. Talk to your baby while making sure he or she can see your face and eyes. So it's very important to talk about. Sabi ni Malu Hati, children are more active and always asking different questions. Correct. So they wanted talaga to know more. Tanong nang ng tanong hanggang sa magsawa kang sumagot sa kanilang mga tanong, 'di ba? Minsan nakakairita na rin ano, pero wala tayong magagawa because that is their nature. That is the nature of a child. Okay. Talk to your baby while making sure he or she can see your face and eyes. So, kailangan mong kausapin siya. Then, read books to your baby using different voices and show him or her the pictures. So, another way of developing a fond of reading, developing love for reading for children is through reading books while they are sleeping while waiting for them to take a nap or to take sleep, no? So magandang practice po 'yan. Magandang practice. It's a good practice that you are reading books while they are sleeping, no? So place toys with sight but just out of reach for your baby, especially those toys that are dangerous to a child. So yung mga laruan na mahirap at yung mga laruan na na hindi pwede sa kanila, no? So katulad ng may sharpen object, rough object, mga rough textures. So it's not good. So choose the toys, especially 'di ba may mga content din yung mga toys na ibibigay natin sa mga bata para hindi sila malason, para hindi sila magkaroon ng ano. So yan po ang ating ah, activities in order to encourage to develop cognitive development of a child. So yan. So another one is how do you assess a child's cognitive development? Paano tayo mag-assess sa mga bata to how we are going to assess them Yeah. What are we going to do in order? Yeah. How are we going to assess a child's cognitive development? One is a cognitive assessment for children usually includes number one is Number one is a cognitive assessment for children usually includes gathering comprehensive background information through interviews with the child or parents and school teachers. So we are eliciting information. For example, yung grade 1 teacher, tatanungin niya yung mga kinder teachers about the background of the child. Kami naman sa grade 6, magtatanong din kami ng background ng bata sa grade 5 teachers. It's very important to know their background information para alam din natin kung ano, what are we going to do, what are we going to give to this particular child. Anong ibibigay natin sa bata? Anong ibibigay natin sa kanila kung ganito ang kanilang behavior? And the administration of standardized tests by trained psychologists. So sa elementary level and sa secondary level, especially the Department of Education, we don't have psychological testings kasi isang bagay po na reason why we don't have this in the Department of Education kasi mahal po ang isang administration ng isang psychological test. Materials pa lang ng psychological test materials is very expensive. So, yan po ang assessment ng cognitive development. How does reading help a child's cognitive development? You are aware of the Brigada Pagbasa. You are aware of this program or project of the Department of Education. So this time, since ang advocacy ng DepEd is makapagbasa ang mga bata kahit sila ay nasa kanilang tahanan, so how we are going to, sabi ni Malu, instruct them what to do and assess them of what they want to do. Tama, no? So it's better to give them guidance. It is better them to give assistance, no? Para po makatulong tayo sa kanila, especially these children. So it essentially provides them with background knowledge on their young world. I how reading is very important. Reading to young children is proven to improve cognitive skills and help along with the process of the cognitive development. Nakakatulong ito sa pag-develop ng kanilang utak, nakakatulong ito sa pag-develop ng kanilang understanding. So yan ang importansya ng reading. Yung mas lalong nag-expand din, mas lalong dumadagdag ang kanilang knowledge on the things that they are reading. Through reading, we can explore the world. Through reading, we can travel. Through reading, we can picture out what is happening in our society, what is happening in our environment. Then, when you begin reading aloud to your child, it essentially provides them with background knowledge on their young world, which helps them make sense of what they see, hear, and read. So, it's very important na magbasa din tayo sa kanila ng malakas para ma-develop ang kanilang knowledge on the world or to picture out a world, 'di ba? So yun ang importansya niya. So these are the very ano din of a cognitive development. So let's first expand more on the cognitive development. Sige. So wait for a while. Wait for a Okay, so wait for a while because I'm going to give you some exercises after we discuss this topic on the cognitive development by Jean Piaget. Okay, so aside from that, Jean Piaget, also we have the father of the modern psychology, which is Sigmund Freud, diba? So, father of modern education, the father of is Ivan Pavlov. So, these are bases, no? One is Wilhelm Wundt, Sigmund Freud, Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, Ivan Pavlov, Boris Frederick Skinner or B.F. Skinner. So, dinidiscuss din po ito, 'di ba? Then Edward Lee Thorndike, which is more on the moral development. Albert Bandura, which is what we are going to discuss next, which is the social learning theory. David Osobel. So these are the different pers- personages in the basis of ano din. So next is, so in the theory of the intellectual or cognitive development, the the ano po of inactive and iconic or symbolic stages. Kanina na mention ko about yung symbolic, 'di ba? Na mas natututo ang mga bata sa picture. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Or natututo yung mga bata sa real objects. So it always started with the concrete, which is according to Jerome Bruner sa cognitive things or cognitive aspect. They started with the concrete objects, then the rote memorization of facts. He believed that learning should begin with direct manipulation of objects. So bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ang bata na makapaghawak ng mga bagay-bagay sa kanyang paligid para matuto siya, no? So an example for this, kung mapapansin nyo yung yung patalastas ng nido na they are letting the child to explore, letting the child to discover something. So that is an example of concrete object. So kahit po siya, kahit yung bata ay kung sa Bicol mo singo na, still they are what? Mm, still they are given time to discover the world, okay? To discover what is in his environment. Next is, yan, yung type of test, hindi pa naman yan sa cognitive level. Sa, yan. What is true about the human development? The true about human development is human development consists maturation and learning. So sabi ko kanina, we are learning through maturation and experience. If we are exposed outside, if we are exposed in the environment, so we learn from the experience. Development refers also to the possessive series of changes or orderly coherent toward the goal of maturity. So, development is a gradual and orderly unfolding. Hindi po siya madalian, hindi po siya agad-agad. So, it undergo a process. Hindi po siya minamadali. That's why po we are emphasizing that it's very important always to consider the level of readiness. Sabi ni Jo Maribuemia, the baby smiles and say a little sound. She or he waves his or her hands. Diba? Tama. So, another one is, um, yan. So, yan. Aside from cognitive development, kay Eric Erickson, saka na kasi focus tayo on the cognitive development. So, yan po for now, for this afternoon. So, later on, I'm going to send the online quiz. So, kindly review, kindly check the FB Live po para mas lalo niyong masagutan ang aking isi-send na quiz about cognitive development. So according to Reginald Beria, human development is continuous. Apo, it is a continuous process. Hindi po siya nag-e-end in one aspect. Apo, so yon. So again, my announcement po is kindly wait for the next schedule of the retrieval of your prelims and the distribution of the new modules for the for the midterm. Okay. So again, let us always pray for the safety and for the fast recovery of our family in Zamora para po maging kampante na rin po ang pamilya nila at ang mga empleyado. So God bless everyone. See you on church Saturday.